Earlier in the morning, we talk about incorporations, we talk about retaining some players, we talk about Rabiot, and we talk about Ivan Rakitic. Today, in this second episode of Hora Blaugrana, we are going to talk about departures. Rafinha leaving to Real Betis, perhaps, and Paco Alcacer being the main target for Dortmund nowadays. I'll give you my opinions on this and so much more in this video coming right up. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here. Welcome back to another video here on the channel. In this channel, we do a lot of match predictions, match previews, football discussion videos, and so much more. So if you're new and you're interested, I invite you to subscribe. In this second episode of Hora Blaugrana, like I said already, we're gonna focus on the departures. We'll talk about the possibility of Rafinha Alcántara moving to Real Betis on a loan deal. Apparently already Messinho, his dad and his agent, I think that's his name actually, has been talking about with Real Betis for a possibility of getting this player. We already know that Real Betis wanted somebody like João Mario, and it seems that Rafinha will be the replacement for that if Inter now loses interest on the midfielder. So we need to watch out for what is going to happen, because this deal, in my opinion, it's kind of getting wrapped up. It really looks like a real possibility. The next story is also going to be about Paco Alcacer, because now Dortmund have moved for so many strikers. They've looked to try and get Modeste from the Chinese league. They try and look for people like Batshuayi, people like Sanabria, even for Real Betis. They look for so many people to try and get a new striker. And now the latest in that list is going to be Paco Alcacer. And like I said, similar to Rafinha, this deal seems that it could happen, because there's nothing stopping Barcelona to letting go and parting ways with Paco Alcacer. I would loan Denis Suarez. I would loan Denis Suarez for many different reasons. Basically, just because the first one, the main one being that he hasn't got enough game time or match fitness for the start of the season. Rafinha is completely the opposite. Rafinha has been playing immensely well with this in this preseason, has been really demonstrating what he's all about. Before, people used to make jokes. I heard it a lot, for instance, when I was in school yet, that Barcelona sold the wrong brother, because they were saying like, we sold Thiago and we didn't sell Rafinha. And many people were saying that, and many people believed that. But to be honest, I think they have very similar talents and very similar quality when they're playing at their best. Rafinha is just a player which has some flashes and some moments which is absolutely insane. And you can see really the quality in this kind of player. So with that being said, Denis Suarez for me should be loaned out. He needs to get that fitness back again, perhaps a short loan for 6 months of a completely 1-year loan. Plus, we don't lose any kind of money in Denis Suarez. We know he's an academy player and whatever, but he came back for like 2.5 million euros, so that could also be a thing Barcelona could be waging in their head. But most importantly, we have to think about the squad now, right now. You all know that I wouldn't have signed Arturo Vidal. I understand and like the signing, but I wouldn't have signed Arturo Vidal. What I would have done would be to keep Denis Suarez and both Rafinha in the same roles. Keep them both players, or I would even try to keep them now. But the thing is that there's just not enough playing time for both. And if they both stay, instead of just potencing or really helping one player grow their career, the other one is gonna be completely falling down. So it's a very big dilemma. Like, why are people looking for Rabiot? Why are we looking for somebody like De Jong once we already have someone like Rafinha and Denis Suarez in our squad? And that's the thing. I think we're getting a little bit too drunk on midfielders right now, and we have to be very worried about what is our limit. What is our limit? What do we really want? Do we want to keep our academy prospects like Rafinha and Denis Suarez progressing, or do we want to sign somebody else prospect? We want to sign PSG prospects or Ajax prospects. What's the thing going on? I want to hear your opinions down below. And now moving on to Paco Alcacer. You all know I'm a very big fan of Paco Alcacer. I always think that Paco Alcacer is a very good impact substitute. Whenever he has come in, he has scored. In the past few seasons, he had more goals than someone like Benzema and equally as Bale. So it's insane how this guy can have those moments, because sometimes he just disappears, some others he scores, but always he's consistent and works hard. And that's the thing with Paco Alcacer for me. I understand Dortmund's Dortmund, obviously Paco Alcacer for Dortmund would be a good signing, would really be a good signing, and Paco Alcacer going to Dortmund would also be a very good thing. But the thing with Barcelona now is that who is going to be our main substitute? Munir? I don't feel Munir. I I don't really like Munir. I don't really feel Munir is makeshift ready for this Barcelona squad. I just feel that with players that are like from the academy, they just have so much pressure to start this Barcelona role, and particularly somebody like Munir, who hasn't been playing in the first team for a very long time. He had one season under Luis Enrique and now with Valverde. And I don't know, because we've seen that Munir has been linked to some places, but he has always kept after those rumors. But now with Paco Alcacer, he was rumored to go into Watford, now Dortmund. What's going on with that? Who is going to be our main substitute, Munir or Paco Alcacer? If it was me to choose, I would get rid of Munir and not exactly Paco Alcacer. But I think that somebody like Valverde would be more inclined to letting Munir go, because he's much a prolific player in the front three. Like, he can play left or right or even middle. He can play for all those different positions. Paco Alcacer, we've known that he has played before like that under Luis Enrique and even under Valverde. He has played for the right, he has played for the left. Paco Alcacer can do all those jobs as well, but Munir is the more natural in that role. And I feel that this Barcelona squad or Barcelona board are basically saying to Valverde that he should keep Munir because he's an academy prospect, you know? And we haven't lost a 1 cent on Munir, while Paco Alcacer, if we sell him to someone like Dortmund, he can get more playing time, increase his value, come back, and then we sell him for more money. So that could be an option, and I feel this is more of like a signing, a transfer, which is going to be decided not by Valverde, but mostly by the board. And when you weigh up both arguments for Munir and Paco Alcacer in terms of financial structure and financial arguments, I feel Paco Alcacer has much more to leave the club rather than somebody like Munir. So if Dortmund were going to come banging in the door for Paco Alcacer, I think Barcelona will let Paco Alcacer go. But I want to hear as well, what do you think about this move? What do you think about Rafinha? What do you think about Paco Alcacer? Should we let these two players leave? Should we let Rafinha leave, or should we let Denis Suarez? Should we keep both and even sign more players? What do you think about our midfielder situation? But more particularly, I want to know about Denis Suarez and Rafinha. Who would you keep? Who would you sell? Or would you keep both of them? And with Paco Alcacer, with the same. Would you keep Munir? Would you let Paco Alcacer go? Or would you just like keep both of them as well? What do you think? Leave me all of that in the comment box down below. And just like always, if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. Follow us on all our social media, and see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.